Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com.
Hi, Rosie. I wanted to share another vision with you. And I'm sorry, it's a pretty emotional one, so I'll try to get through it. I saw Joe Biden kneeling at the altar in church. And he has but one side, a hunter on the other. But then his wife and his girls that he lost when he was young, they're in front of him. And he can see them. And that whole church filled up with every single spirit that is backing him. I'm sorry, that was just very powerful. He has all the forces he needs behind him to do this, to carry this through. He knows they're all there with him. He can feel it. He can see them. And it's not just family. It's the Arlington guy, cemetery people. I'm sorry. All the fallen soldiers. Thank you. I think I'll leave it there because I think you get the message of what that was, obviously. And that's pretty much all I can describe without dragging it on too much further. All right. I will talk to you later. Hope you have a good night.
Hi guys, so I just wanted to add something to Corina's audio, just connected to that. Before we talked today, I had sent her, we had talked about this, uh, this feeling of this momentous feeling about what's going on, and that this is the time for us to look within when you search for information and when you process information, to double check, how does it feel to you? Does it ring true? And also when you're looking for information, that you go back to learning how to consult yourself, right? Because even if you come to us or to so-called, media or so whatever that is, you still want to check it with yourself, because it's such a confusing time, and it really is a time when we're being told to reconnect with your power, and that includes your power to check on information, okay, so that you can check with people like us, for example, but you don't just rely on us, right? So that you learn to kind of step into your own space, internal space, and trust that more and more. Okay. All right. So that was just a quick message. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Corina, Psychic Investigators. So today is Monday, November 18th. We're recording, and right now it's 2:23 Eastern Time, PM, right? So getting ready to record. And so because today is going to be kind of a big day of topics that we're going to cover. So I'm going to do the little protection song I normally do when I do the live stream and the other videos. So I'd like to ask for protection. Beautiful wave of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and only the good. And so it is. Okay, so.
And
Okay.
so it is.
All right. So let me share the screen here. So Karina had a really interesting, moving audio about Biden at church. I'm gonna add my own kind of a little response to Karina's that I will add a little bit later. But let's start here with the video, okay? And so we have a few. Well, I guess we'll just start with that, right, Karina, and then go to the bigger ones towards. It's not. I mean, everything is very big. Okay, so someone sent me, and I'd like to thank the person who sent it to me. But as you guys know, I like to keep everybody private for doxing purposes, right? I never want you guys to be exposed. So this is really remarkable. That tells you, it's so telling, right? So apparently Trump wants Ann Selzer to be investigated. Now, Ann Selzer is the pollster who is revered. Apparently, by the way, she resigned, which is very sad, but I don't think it's going to be for long. But still, so he wants her to be investigated when she was the one, remember, that gave a lot of, when her poll was released, it was something like that Kamala was very likely to win Iowa too, and nobody was expecting that. And if you had one, let's say a person, there's no reason why you would want to attack a pollster, right? So it's supposed to tell you how the truth is so threatening to them. And one of the hallmarks of today that I was talking to Karina just now is that it really looks like it's the moment for the false prophet to try and convince us that truth comes from them, that truth doesn't really exist. Whatever comes from their mouth is reality. And this is the moment, guys, really that I believe Spirit wants us all to exercise our own power and to always ask to not buy into this, especially at this moment, to really ask what is really happening from yourselves, and even, guys, not to, even though I'm so grateful that you all watch and that we have a great community, always double check with yourself. Does it ring true to your intuition? Does it feel right to you? No matter who it is that's saying it, to always go with your gut, because I think this is the moment where I think every religion has a warning against the false prophet. And it doesn't have to be religion, it could be spiritual, whatever your belief system is. Because this is a moment where the liars, right? Not just liars, but it's not just about lying for them. It's about them wanting to become gods and to believe that they are gods. And when I was growing up, my favorite book that my mother gave me was this illustrated book of Greek myths. And it's always I mean, they weren't human, right? But even the gods, they thought they were bigger than others. All these things happened to them when they thought they were bigger. They were bigger than humans. They were more than human. And this is the moment. I think this is why I feel like it's essentially Greek tragedy in the making, right, Karina? That's what it feels like. But the moment for you who is watching, this is the time for you to use your faith and your intuition and ask yourself, right? And not be changing such and such said or whatever it is. Like, just, you have to kind of ignore it for now and ask your intuition and right, because here we are seeing what else could be almost a confession, right? That he's attacking her because of this. So why, we can ask just why, right? We can ask why now intuitively, why is Trump attacking her? He wants her to be investigated. Can you imagine? It's like, Okay, so why is Trump
Mhm.
attacking her?
Okay, the words are going to just come flying right out of my mouth. I can't stop because she knows the truth.
Mhm,
She knows the truth. It's the red overlay on the blue map.
mhm,
She has spent her life learning, observing, collecting information. She is top at her profession.
mhm,
If she didn't know the truth so blatantly, he wouldn't be attacking her.
mhm,
He attacks everybody, but he wants to destroy her and destroy her reputation.
mhm,
That's the whole thing. He
mhm,
reacts.
mhm,
He knows what's coming out. Trump, this is his playbook. Whenever he knows the truth of what's coming out could destroy him, he will go after the person that knows the truth to discredit, to destroy, to disparage. That's
mhm,
exactly what he's doing to her. And I
mhm.
think that's the biggest telling sign that he knows the truth is about to come out, or else he wouldn't be going after her. Like you said, why? Why her? It makes absolutely no sense. He won, right?
Mhm.
No, he did not. He
And
knows that. And she knows that. And she's got the facts. That's what I'm saying. She has proof of that, or else he wouldn't be so annoyed with her.
mhm.
Whew. Go
So
ahead.
I just wanted to also add immediately what I saw is that he's angry at her because she is a woman who was telling other women also who were watching, right? It's like, oh, here's the time when women take over, when the power of women shows that elections matter, right? Because this
Mm-hmm.
was the time, I mean, a few days ago, whenever that was, that it was when this was published, not that long ago, that it was a telltale that Kamala was poised to win. And he hates the fact that women are empowered. And he hates the fact that here's
Mm-hmm.
the who's an independent thinker. And Ann Selzer was always, I believe she's always described that she's not, it's not a what you call it, she's not for one side or another. She's just, she speaks to voters so much so that she has, in the past, she has said that Trump was going to win in locations,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not as if she is only always, she was accurate in predictions for every party, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. Let me just,
Yeah.
can we actually just for her, ask about her, what's going to happen to
I
her in
was
6 months?
just going to say she's this resignation is not permanent, and well, she may stay resigned. I don't know, but it's not going to ruin her. She will come back out of this just like everybody else on the good side,
Mhm. Yeah, I see that she's going like this, and
and
then
people will know she was correct and
Mhm.
she was attacked.
So I interrupted you. Okay, so I meant to say that I see Anne going almost like through a bridge underpass, and that's the moment now. And then I see her. It's like she's reemerging from this underpass, and then I even see people help pulling her out of it. So it's a group of people. So in other words, the public will pull her out from the underpass. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
she will be, and I see there's a lot of clapping for her in the near future. It's saying, right? So it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's the moment she feels, because it tells me that she's so competent. She's so not just accomplished, but very, very clear and competent. And she knows who the people were that she spoke to. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why she feels so bad about things, but she will recover soon. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So let's move to the next. Let me go back here. So go back here. So, okay. So now, so this was an interesting thing that happened. Then, so yesterday, I think it was last night or earlier today, I saw this comment that Mitch McConnell had said that there would be no recess appointments for the Trump administration, and it was something that was apparently was quoted in a New Yorker article. New Yorker, of course, is a very serious publication, and today they were saying that the comment had been deleted from the New Yorker, and the tweet was also deleted. So to me, it also sounds very shady because it's a New Yorker. I trust it inherently. And of course, it's not a surprise to anyone that Mitch McConnell was not super into the whole Trump thing. So I guess the question is, what is up with really what's up with that? What is going on here? Is Mitch right? And then
Mhm.
and I did think that I was like, oh, does Mitch McConnell know something could be happening behind the scenes? But I almost don't want to. So let's just see what's up with that. Okay, so what's up with this situation? That comment.
Hmm. I think Mitch McConnell doesn't know exactly what happened, but he's been around long enough to know that something doesn't smell right.
Mm-hmm.
He knows there's a bigger thing
Mm-hmm.
going on here.
Okay, I picked up something that I saw first. I immediately saw something like the Nazi brown shirts. I think they were called. They're like this. Come here with the make the sign, and they would always threaten people who dare to say something because they're already threatening Republicans. Okay,
Hmm.
and we're going to take over. I don't think they're telling them exactly that, but that it's going to be a dictatorship or whatever that is, and you better behave or else or something.
Hmm.
So see that Mitch McConnell and it shows me the other more moderate, and I think most of them who are not super hardcore are like, not so fast, gentlemen. They're like looking at them like this, as if they're not as scared as those people would want them to be. So
Hmm.
interesting to me that I would think that so that's my sense is they're like, is that so? Not so fast, gentlemen. That interesting. I was not expecting it, as if they know more than they're telling us, or they're
Right.
not so quick to fall in line. That's my sense. Okay.
No, and that right there, you saying that tells me they're for the first time they're not so quick to fall in line
Mm-hmm.
because they were afraid of it before.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
all did fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they have a little more, I'm not going to, I'm using this term lightly. They have a little more backbone to stand up to it because I think they all feel
Mm-hmm.
something behind the scenes, like, they can tell it's reeks of something amiss.
Mm-hmm. So yes, no, absolutely, absolutely. So okay, so then something else that is also quite interesting is this weird connection. How do you say it? This weird bro thing with Elon Musk and Trump. And I watched this, and I'm going to share this with you. Do we need to? I think. Do we need to? Should we show the video, Corinne? I think it's
Yeah.
okay. It's just or I don't know. It's not revealing much, but it's to me it shows. Maybe let me see here because I'm going to stop share that and then show. Okay, so it's just it's a okay. So let's see. Okay, have that as a background. Okay. So there's no, I'm not, we don't really need to have volume. Let me just see here from the beginning.
No, it's more body language and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched that and I thought to myself, look at how Elon Musk he's acting like he's the center of the attention. Whereas like if I had been if it's about Trump and you're like he has just been, let's say they have been theoretically, even if it's like let's assume that he was elected a president or that you definitely believe that he's the president. Why are you taking up all the attention and not he's not really acting in a differential manner towards Trump, I don't think. So
Mm-mm.
to me, it seems honestly, it's again, not that I'm obviously not pro-Trump, but it seems disrespectful and I just wonder how long until Trump can't handle it anymore. Is there going to be a clash or what the hell's going on here? Right. And it's so weird to me that, again, this guy is sticking around. And I got immediately, it's funny as I'm saying this, when I immediately got, hey, I turned the numbers for him. If it wasn't for me, he would be there. So why?
Hmm.
Because he can't get rid of me, I did
Hmm.
help. So, and this is also why Trump is like grudgingly kind of having to accept it for the same reason. Oh, it's saying because none of it's symbiotic, destructive relationship because they cannot, if one opens their mouth, the other goes. So
Hmm.
now so wow, okay. So So, okay, let's see
Mhm.
what's going on. Tell
And
me.
it's like Musk's behavior is a little bit more erratic on that than Trump. He's turning around, talking and shaking. Trump is very submissive to me in that video.
Interesting.
He is, hunched over. He just doesn't say anything. He's looking at what Leon is showing him.
Mm, mm.
Elon's acting like he's king of the world already.
Oh, and meanwhile, something else. I saw this photo. We don't need to just look at it again, but I'm sure we've seen it. It's a photo of even Robert Kent, like RFK's there eating burgers or something. And someone remarked, "Where's JD Vance?" Because technically, right, you would think that JD Vance would be around. He's gone. He's not. So what's going on here with them, and what's up, and what's going to happen next in the next couple months between their alliances or something? Let's see. Just another way of asking that question. Okay, let's see.
Mm-hmm. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. The image I just saw was, how I kind of say weekend at Bernie's effect on Trump.
Mm,
It's almost like I see Elon talking with his doctor. Like, so how much of this are you giving him? How much of that are you giving? Like, he's controlling the future
mm.
by even,
Wow.
wow, I'm, yeah, you know what I mean? Do you get that? It's
No,
like he's already,
okay. Okay. So are you
he's,
are you okay? Finish.
go ahead.
Finish. Are you done? Let me know, and then I'll say.
Yeah, he's the puppet master. He's the ultimate puppet master, is what I think I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right.
He's
Okay.
trying to be the ultimate puppet master.
Okay. Okay. All right. So when I asked the question, what I got was that they're in this almost as if they're in a helicopter or airplane or something together, and then suddenly there's a trap door opens for both of them, and they are forced out of the airplane, and they're wearing parachute, right? So they have to parachute, and they fall into some sort of army, right? Like it's almost
Mm-hmm.
shows, oh yeah, it's all very nice in this airplane. Oh, how beautiful, that's mine, or whatever. And then the trapdoor opens there, what's the word?
Ejected.
Yes, ejected from the air. Boom. That's it. So it's like, oh, ha, ha, boom. They all go down together, kind of almost at the same time. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it's saying it's that it won't last. Essentially, this is the,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there's nice. Here we are in the airplane acting out. They're ejected. That's what I see. So, okay. So that
Yeah.
makes, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And it's funny because it's almost Leon's. God, sorry, that just sticks in me.
Mhm.
It's he's the reason.
Mm,
He's the main reason it's happening and they're going down together because I think you said it the other day. It's almost like Trump is smarter than him in this aspect. So it's him. His arrogance is so brazen right now that he is bringing this whole operation down.
mm, mm. Yeah, no, it's interesting, but I do see also what it shows me is that they are going to be together until the end. Boom, end is here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Together
they're in it
forever.
together until the thing is falls apart, because they're saying now they have to hide they're connected because they've made it happen together. Okay. So now, okay, so this is that. Now let's go to the hardcore part of today's session. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so we had talked about yesterday, that's right, when Biden had authorized the use of long range missiles sent from the US into Russia. So I had also said before that right before I think the next day or so after the election, I said something to the effect of that the attacks on the bomb threats on polling stations from Russia, something that the Georgia governor alluded to, were themselves an act of war. Then Biden does that about the missiles yesterday. And now we have this information. So I'm going to over why it's relevant. So this person is a serious account. I believe he's from Finland. He's involved in intelligence, this person, or something to that effect, national security or something like that. So So this is underwater cables. Now that's the internet cables. So that's part one. Now he says here, so underwater cable between Sweden and Lithuania has also been damaged. Article 5 moment. So what is Article 5 that he's referring to? So definition of NATO Article 5. So it's NATO Article 5 from NATO's website. So here, Article 5, a cornerstone of the alliance. Article 5 in 1949, the primary aim of the North Atlantic Treaty, NATO's founding treaty, was to create a pact of mutual assistance to counter the risks that the Soviet Union would seek to extend its control of Eastern Europe to other parts of the continent. Surprisingly irrelevant. Every participating country agreed that this form of solidarity was at the heart of the treaty, effectively making Article 5 on collective defense a key component of the alliance. Article 5 provides that if a NATO ally is the victim of an armed attack, each and every other member of the alliance will consider this act of violence as an armed attack against all members and will take the actions it deems necessary to assist the ally attacked. So, also, Corina and I both saw very consistently that at the beginning, I remember being very surprised at how often I saw the head of NATO pushing Biden to do something about the whole election thing. And now this adds to it. So then we go to, so I went to look is there more information online about it? And so CNN is already, this is just now, right? So at 2:05 p.m. right now, it's 2:48 p.m. So this is 2 undersea cables in Baltic Sea disrupted, sparking warnings of possible hybrid warfare. So I have, right, so I have the, let's see, okay, so I have here, will NATO act on it? Is NATO already acting on it? And so just also, I have to go through another page here, just to give you the context for this. So about 1 week ago, Russia had threatened to issue a warning about undersea cables. Russia issues ominous warning about undersea internet cables. An ally of Putin has accused the US of UK of attempting to sabotage underwater cables and planning to destabilize the maritime energy trade. So they always, this is so common that they do that the West and everybody knows. So so such and such channel says that it would be funny, but such statements often sound like a cover for their own intentions. So when contacted for comment, a British Foreign Officer spokesperson told Newsweek on Tuesday, we're not going to provide a running commentary on Russia's conspiracy theories, citing US officials. This is an important part. CNN reported in September that Russia was developing a sabotage unit with submarines and drones to target underwater infrastructure by order of the Defense Ministry's main directorate for deep sea research. Okay, so this all makes sense and it connects together. And it feels, like I said the other day when I was looking into what some Russian officials were, they seem so nervous, as if they are already, this war has already started. It's already happening behind the scenes, right? So, I'm just saying this hybrid warfare, whatever you call it. So the question is will NATO act on this how is NATO seeing this underwater cable situation, and is NATO already acting on it? And Corina, should we talk about the submarines now, or should we just ask the question and then
let's do that, because I think that'll,
okay, so will NATO act on it? How does NATO see this situation? Is NATO already acting on it? So what's going on?
Takes me back to the vision that I had prior, as we were talking about the submarines, but that was a while ago. It already happened. So they were already aware.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know what I see also, Karina? I do see that when Biden's, I do see him speaking to us, and that he is saying that underwater cables have been cut, and we have identified in addition to this. So we and NATO are working to halt these attacks. That's right. So I see Biden. So in other words, it is and I see this almost like a meatball in the sense that everything is connected together. It's all seen as
Mm-hmm.
part of one thing, which is
Mm-hmm.
attacking us. And
Right.
and then it's saying, I think you said it too, Corina, others have said it, that Elon Musk overplayed his hand. And in the sense that that Russia is doing this, making the assumption that that we are very unstable already and that we're going to just accept it and roll over. And they will continue this. And then once they have the US support from Trump, then they will go, get out all the arms or do whatever it is that they want, and they will win this. But it's saying they really overcalculated, but a lot of things have been stopped. And doesn't
Exactly.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what go ahead, Brenda, now tell me what if you
Well, and before we even started these series, I kept saying they're showing me it's happening above ground and below ground. Like now I understand why I kept seeing that, because it's happening in space and it's happening undersea. You
Mhm,
know what I mean?
mhm,
So they thought that we wouldn't look in those two places. We would only be looking at the ballots and all the voter suppression. And so as we're doing that, they're creating this above and below communications, plans, all that. So going back to my original vision of them seeing it months before, because of they showed me submarines underwater close, I'm just going to say in certain areas,
mhm,
and that they showed that to me as a past vision that had already happened.
mm.
So they've been on it since then.
Yes, and I think it's Tanya, it's okay to say this because saying or they're saying that there had been submarines, Russian submarines near somehow the US coast, something like that, and that the US had been observing this for years or months, and they
Mm-hmm.
kind of think that we didn't care or act as if we didn't care. And it's saying this, so this allows their aggressive behavior to kind of continue until they get caught and they are stopped. So this is also why. Oh, and it's saying, I had written something that I was going to send to somebody, I didn't, that said something to the effect of Russians are acting as if they know their signals have been intercepted. This is what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what's coming back to me again. Their signals have been intercepted. They know it because I see they can't communicate with some of these. Something has happened. And that's why they have this sense of urgency. And they can't share that with those people over here. So it's like there's a lot of tension that I'm
Mm-hmm.
picking up on that side. Now, so do we, so what's, I'm still, I know, it always kind of shows me a little bit about that they're doing things, the governments are doing things in the background, and that we shouldn't really, it's not for
Mm-hmm.
us to know exactly what they're doing. It doesn't really matter necessarily at this point. They're acting on it. But my question is, there's all these people that we talked about yesterday, for example, who are clearly pushing Russia's talking points. So how is the government going to deal with them? It doesn't make sense. Those people like the David Sachs and the people that have a lot of power, a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
they going to be, oh, it's saying, is there, I guess my question is this, are we going to have some sort of declaration that would then, because technically, if you're working, it's one thing if
Mm-hmm.
they, let's say, for example, there's something called the FAR Act, right? Foreign Act, Agent Registration Act. So, and that, in which case, if you're working on behalf of a foreign government, you have to register as such, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's showing me this, that if you're working for them and you are unregistered, not in a time of war, that is already a violation of the act. But if there is some sort of war situation, as it's saying, as long as Biden declares it to be,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then they could be, then it's different. You are an enemy within, that's right. You're an enemy within the nation. And
Right.
that's what we're exposing them as. Wow.
That's why we can bring them down all at once and very quickly, because
Oh, that's it. Wow.
yes,
So
you
how,
are within the nation and you're trying to bring it down.
wow.
So you're right.
So, okay, again, this is a bit of it's not a fear. I guess I have to ask it, Karina, but I'm calm when I ask this question. But is, you know how Russia always threatens like, oh, it's a World War III, there's nuclear thing. Are they going to push the nuclear button? Are they going to?
You know, when we were talking about like what would Russia do yesterday, and you said you could
I
see
did,
him
yeah.
pushing the button. You know what the image that came to me, and I didn't say it. He was pushing the button, but it was a Fisher Price toy.
Okay. Okay.
So no. And I'm going to say something a little strange, but you know, I get the message from higher consciousness
Mm,
is in control of that. We have no worries
mm,
with that kind of warfare.
mhm,
Higher consciousness is on it.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, okay. And it is telling me that I got something similar, Karina, actually, that there's something where also even I remember now, even I seen this years ago where I had said that even if they do that, somebody over there in that country is not going to let it happen. Like people know how damaging it is, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not, there's
It's
something.
just, yeah,
Okay.
it's destruction across the world. It's not just the target you hit, it's
Mhm,
the destruction across the world. And
mhm,
meaning, you know, climate wise, financial wise,
mhm,
it's too destructive for everybody.
mm,
So the higher consciousness is saying we can't even allow that to happen, because what I wanted to say is it screws up not only our planet, it screws up the universe, kind of thing.
mm,
So the universal forces are at play here to protect us from anything like that.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. So no, and it shows me also that this is the moment when the false prophets are exposed. They cannot in fact control the world in the way that they were almost about to, or they assumed they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. What they, another little woo. It takes me to the first vision where I was over looking down and all the UFOs were over the planet.
mm,
And basically, what I'm getting from higher consciousness is we are way more intelligent, and you are not going to screw this up for us. So we are being protected
mm,
in that form by higher consciousness. I don't think we have to worry that way at all. Because
okay.
you know, I've said this, I always hear, you're not going to screw with the land of milk and honey for us.
Okay, okay, good, good. So wow, it's amazing. And I'm very calm. It's interesting. So are we gonna see, because I know we talk on and off about the timeline situation. I still think I heard back from some astrologer people and others, right? And there's the Mercury retrograde, it starts on the November 25th, and there's also the time I think between December 1st and December 9th when all the planets go they're no longer retrograde, they go back. I forgot how you call it, but something like that. So it makes sense, right, Karina? Do you think,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It does, because you know, I had a little vision this morning. It would take us back to that time.
Hmm. Hmm.
It showed me a time frame. It started with the beginning of Mercury retrograde, and I don't normally pick up this kind of astrology stuff, but it actually put me in Mercury retrograde. And it took me to the forward when it started, and then it threw me back to election day. Like before the illusion and like false reality that we're in kind of happened. So it's almost, it took me back to that feeling and that momentum that we all had, we all saw that day of the election. And then I kind of saw like a clock that said 9 o'clock p.m.
Mm,
And that's when it kind of shifted. That false reality kind of came into, you know, play there. So it's almost like we're going back to that. That's the feeling I get. And I, like I said, I don't know astrology. So,
mm,
but it just takes me back to the election day of all that, what we all felt, that excitement, that momentum. So I really feel that between this period of time, we're going to start to hear and see enough
mm,
that it takes us back to that momentum and that energy that we all had moving forward.
mm,
And honestly, if you looked at, you know, the screenshot of the days that kind of how that falls, and it finalizes on December 15th, which is plays into what we have kind of said, both of us, that we see this being fully exposed, around by then, like moving into the holidays. So it would make sense.
Oh, that's great. That's great, Karina. And then, no, right, that makes a lot of sense. And then was there something else? No, I think that's it. Right, Karina, that makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
the kind of
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious. I'd be kind of curious because I know we have a lot of astrologers and stuff that watch, and I'd be kind of curious to see the comments that come in on that vision.
that's great. No, that's great. That's great. Yeah, no, it's oh, this is a thing. I meant to say something else as you're saying this. I meant to, it was coming back to me as far as this, what we're describing as some sort of like a timeline, but I'm getting, as you were talking about this, I was getting, but Rosie, there's a lot happening behind, a lot of it is behind the scenes. It doesn't mean that that's when things
Mhm.
begin to happen. That's when things will emerge from the hidden place. That they will,
Mhm.
like it's like, you remember how you talked about like a sheet of
Mhm.
the bedding sheet or something, like the thing is uncovered. But I think it's happening now, and it shows me that we're going to see also Trump and Elon Musk and all those, will look like Russian government officials getting more and more agitated, tense, and threatening. And
Mhm.
they notice things are happening behind the scenes.
Mhm.
They're trying to push back or trying to do something. They're not succeeding. They're like,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
even threatening Republicans who are more moderate, like a lot of people, but
Mhm.
seeing, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? And that's when, so the date here, the timeline is about when things become public, right?
Mhm.
That's what I got.
Mhm. Yeah, they're feeling. It's like I saw. I don't do social media and of any sort.
Mm,
Um, I can't handle the energy on there, but it's
mm,
showing me almost like they're looking at all the social media accounts and they're going, they're pissed because they're still talking about it. They're
mm,
still they can hear the social media accounts
mm,
saying all this. They're echoing what we're echoing.
mm, mm.
And they can feel it coming. Why are we still talking? It's angering the beast. So
Wow.
yes, like you said, they're going to get more erratic. We're going to start, and that's another telltale sign. Like people ask, how do we know when this is going to happen? I
Mm,
think you can start watching people's body language, what they say. Pick up those kind of clues for yourself. What does that tell you within your own intuition? Like Rosie was talking about earlier. Start feeling that within yourself. What seems really true to you?
mhm.
And you can pick up that by looking at a picture of these guys, or just use your own guidance with that, because I think we're being told a story here that's about to be uncovered.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, no, very good, very good. Excellent. Okay, so here we are, not just another news report. So, okay. All right. So that's it, right, Karina, for today?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
good.
enjoy your